Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a membership smart contract using Unlock protocol and Ethers.js. Now, first thing we just have to take a quick look at the files in our project directory, and we have a really lean setup for just a couple files here. That's the main.js, which is the entry point for the project, and we have a readme and this wallet info.json file. So you definitely don't want to save your wallet in your project like this for security purposes. I only did this because this is just a random wallet I created using Ethers.js. So you don't want to do that so you don't mistakenly put it out there and anyone can have access to your wallet, right? So to get started, you need a couple things. And the first thing that you need is the Ethers.js library. And if you're not familiar with that, you should head over to the docs. They've got a great documentation and you can find out all you need right there on Ethers.js, and you can install that using npm like this. Oops, yeah. npm install dash dash save ethers and hit enter. I'm not going to do that because I already have that installed. And the next thing that we need is the Unlock protocol smart contract API, and you can install that with the npm package like this as well. All right, so hit enter as well. Again, not doing that because I already have it installed. And we're also going to need a way to connect to the blockchain, and that is also known as a provider, and a great service that does that is Infura. So if you don't have an account, you can head over to infura.io and create one. It's super easy. It takes less than 5 minutes. You're going to be able to create an account and create a project so you can grab an RPC endpoint that we use to create a provider. So we're going to need a wallet as well, which is going to help us authenticate transactions to the blockchain. So I bring in these files right here into the project like this. We bring in ethers like so, and we bring in the Unlock protocol ABIs for the Unlock protocol smart contracts here, and I just import this file right here so I can grab the wallet information. So right here, this code that's commented just shows you how you can create a random wallet with Ethers.js and grab the private key. So that's one way for you to create a wallet. And another way you could do that is with your mnemonic. If you have like the seed phrase for the wallet, and you can just import it using this. So we call that new Ethers the wallet from mnemonic, and you pass in the string right here, and you're gonna have a wallet. So here we define the provider like this: new ethers providers, JSON RPC provider, and we pass in the endpoint we get from our Infura account, and we bring in the private keys from this wallet.info.json, and we use that to create a wallet. So we do it like this, and we pass in the private key and the provider, and we use that wallet to create a signer which is going to authenticate the transaction, and we need that to instantiate and unlock protocol smart contract. So first thing that we need from unlock is the address of the smart contract for the network that we're going to be deploying the lock to. And for this tutorial, we're doing it on the Goerli network. So this is the Unlock protocol address for Goerli. That's the Unlock smart contract. So the next thing that we want to do is, instantiate the contract, and Ethers allows us to do that with this function right here, ethers.contract, and we pass in the unlock address, the ABI, and we do that by, calling the ABI we bring in right here at the top, ABIs dot the contract version. So if I were to take this out, you'd see that there's a couple of versions here. So, there's a lot. So we take version 11.ABI and we pass in the signer as well. So once that's done, the next thing that we want to do is define the parameters that we're going to pass to the function to create the membership lock. So in order for us to do that, we're going to need to instantiate this PublicLock interface, and that allows us to encode some of that parameters that we're going to pass into the function. So we do that with ethers like this, new ethers.utils.interface, and then you pass in the ABI of the contract. So in this case, we're using the PublicLock version 11. It's important to note that for this, we use the Unlock version 11, and for this, we're using the PublicLock version 11 ABI. And once we have that, we're gonna call that here and use the encode function data parameter function, and we pass in two arguments to that function. The first is a string and the second is an array. So the string is just the function signature, and what that means is the name of the function and the data types of its parameters. So you just put in the data types without any space in between, just the data types, comma, no space, and then you pass in the arguments that you want for the lock as items for the array. So the first thing we have here is the person that's calling the function, or the message sender, and we get that from the signer address. And the next thing is the expiration date for the lock, and the next thing that we want to pass in is the function for, the address for the token that we're going to accept for the membership. So if we wanted to use Ether, we would pass in the 0 address, and we get that from ethers like this. Or if we wanted to use a different token like DAI or maybe USDC or whatever, ERC20 token, you would pass in that token address as a string right here, which is like the third item on this array. And the next thing that we want to do is the token price, and we pass that in like this here. And if you wanted your lock to be free, you would pass in as 0. So we have the number of keys for the lock, and this is 1000, and the name of the lock. And once you're done with that, next thing you want to do is call the function, and we do that like this. We create a variable called tx or transaction, and we assign it like this. So we call the unlock contract that we instantiated above and the function that we want to use to create the lock or deploy the lock, and we're using the create upgradable lock at version function, and we're passing in the parameter that we encoded here and the version. And once that's done, we log it to the console and we call the function. So let's test it out. It's important to note that you do want to send some ETH to the address for the wallet that you create, else the transaction is going to fail. So you grab the address here, you can log it to the console, grab the address, and head over to your MetaMask or whatever wallet that you use and send it some testnet ETH or whatever network that you're working with. If you don't have enough ETH, the transaction is going to fail. So very important you do that. And perfect, here we have it. So it's logged the information to the console, and that's how you deploy a membership smart contract using Unlock protocol and Ethers.js.